Hello, what is up, guys? It is day 82. Let me fix my camera lighting because it's starting to look a little bit crazy. We're on day 82, and something I want to say is we are about to hit okay, good. We're about to hit 2,000 subscribers. Like, what? That is insane. Just in the last couple of days, I was pretty much just getting like a good amount of subs. We're at 1,992 as of speaking right now, which I'm just like, that's crazy as hell. Thank y'all so much for supporting. And of course, watching my content, man, and watching my live streams, hitting that sub button. A lot of people end up actually coming from the live streams, which is crazy. But listen, thank y'all so much for tuning in, for just being there with me. I'm just hopping in real quick, a little bit early. I'm probably going to make sure to mention this on one of my streams, is that for the first like 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes I am here and I answer past questions that people ask me in older streams. So hopefully some people could come back to the beginning of the stream and kind of just listen to me answering their questions. It's pretty much what the goal is. So give me one more second.
Did you know that our
but y'all are super goated though, because y'all really like have just been very supportive, man. Like the last stream I ended up getting around 300 subs, man. You said hi. Wait, who's that? Oh, hey, what is up? What's up, my guy? But let me go and read a little bit of, I want to say, the questions that I took from yesterday, because there was a couple of questions. I hate that I can't respond to them. Because I always like forget to kind of look, especially because yesterday I was just doing so much. But somebody put respect for what you're doing. But then they had a question about what made you, and this is from Spanky 2018, what made you realize you wanted to go more the IT route after starting the Odin project software side? I find that transition pretty interesting. And I've said this before, but I've noticed that sometimes there's people who honestly weren't really there from the beginning, you know what I mean? So since they weren't really there, or not from the beginning, but they weren't there from like this transition. So I feel like, some people just haven't really heard what my answer was. But when it came to, I want to say web dev, the Odin project, and coding, I feel like I did everything that I wanted to do. Of course, I did have my mentions of like eventually going full stack and doing React, but I already knew the whole time that I was going to be changing topics, at least for the channel. I didn't think it was going to be like, I didn't know if it was going to be IT or if I was going to go down a whole nother line, but I've always knew that this channel wasn't supposed to stick to a topic for the rest of the channel's life. I always wanted this channel to be, where I take you along my journey. So if I'm doing something and I feel like that journey ends, it's like, then that journey ends, we go to somewhere else. I already knew web dev was ending and I really wanted it to end. I was so like keen on it ending. And after, because I kept going, I wanted to do full stack, I wanted to get into React, but I realized that it was just going to be too long, because especially I still at that time only had an hour to kind of learn anything. So at that time when I was like looking, and I'm just kind of trying to, learn, you said yellow, green, ooh. But I'm looking, I'm trying to like like learn coding and stuff. And then also too, coding just stopped becoming a passion. And then I feel like the environment got super toxic because it was like people would just see me coding for 7 months, and because they don't know me as a person and don't know that I only was studying for an hour, I think they started to treat me like I should have known more. And then that just got super toxic. And I was just like, yeah, I already didn't like coding. And then like the only thing that was really kind of pushing me to keep coding was the community. Then the community is getting toxic. And so I was just like, yeah, let me just move from coding. Like, but in the end, I did what I wanted to do though, which was ultimately get my first client, learn how to make money making websites. And I never wanted to work in like, well, I've said it before, but then I changed my mind, but I've never wanted to work in like a corporate job. I always wanted to do freelance work and just make a couple $100. And I was able to land my first clients, but then after that, I think I found more interest in ultimately putting your website like online to where you could put ads on your website. So it's kind of like YouTube, you put ads on your videos. I still have not learned how to host a damn website yet, but it's just because I haven't had time to do it. But that's something that I really want to end up doing for web dev. So web dev is still something I do. I still make websites on the side and stuff like that just to keep like myself going, but I just don't upload it no more. That's not what this channel is about. It's a new topic. It's a new topic now. Then I think somebody else said, they said hi, but that was obviously... Someone said I passed the second try. The PBQs got the best of me, to be honest. Yeah, I was going to say with the PBQs, I've actually found like a way to kind of prepare for it, which is because I know they said that about 20 or 15% of the tests are PBQs. I think the best thing to do with PBQs is kind of just know about the topic. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, you just kind of need to know what you are actually going for and don't just know it off of one thing. Because then, yeah, when there's a PBQ on it and there's multiple things to select, you're not going to be able to know it because you confused yourself or you didn't, like, study that long. And then I think for me as well, I always ask for about like 50. So far, I've been doing 50 questions per section, which literally you don't have to do because the operating system is only 25 questions of the 90 questions. So I've been doing 50 of each section, and there's multiple sections within the operating system for the CompTIA A+. So I'm just like, I just been doing my thing. And I just been, honestly, you said how long you've been studying daily. Daily, I normally only get an hour a day. Normally when I'm doing the 12-hour study streams, I always say this, but I feel like some people don't really recall, or they think maybe I'm not trying to but when I do the 12-hour study streams, that's just supposed to be a study session for people to hop in and have a community of people and study for, I want to say like 30 minutes to an hour. Like you can just come in and chill, leave supportive comments. I love stuff like that. And it really is me obviously going through a real study session, but it's not for 12 hours long. It's probably like an hour or 30 minutes. And then it's just on loop. And I've always admitted that. I don't know why, like, I've seen some people try to say, like, or try to act like I've never said that. I'm like, I've never said that it was a 12-hour live stream. There was even times where I would, like, put it in the description, the comment section, I'll be like, this is pre-recorded. And then there would still be people who, would try to make it seem like, oh, this is pre-recorded. Like, they found out. I'm like, I said it my damn self. But, no, yeah. The 12-hour live stream, though, is just supposed to be, like, a little study space. I normally only really get to study for an hour a day. So what do you use to stream? Thinking of doing the same for Security Plus. I use, I do Streamlabs for stuff like this, like when I'm talking or showing my screen and stuff like that. But if I'm doing the 12-hour study streams, I will use the Odin project, what the hell? I'll use OBS Studio. OBS Studio is normally what I use. And then that same person too was talking about the PBQs. Yes, what I do is I want to say like 10, or I'll do 5 PBQs per section, and there's probably like 10 sections in just the operating system. So it's like 50 questions each, 5 PBQs each. And so I really am like preparing myself. Some people might think I'm over preparing, but at the end of the day, I think there's just no such thing. As long as if I don't pass the test and I'm preparing the way I'm preparing, that's crazy. That is literally crazy. I'll be like, yo, ain't no damn way. I do have a video hopefully coming out later tonight. I'm just not sure if I should upload it because instead of editing it, and doing like my natural cuts, I kind of just talked through the video, and I'm like, I don't know if people would want to see that. But then that same person on the last stream said, you don't need to write everything down, just do flashcards. Trust me. Now, I think a lot of people just learn differently. I'm someone where, for one, I do have flashcards. Let me see. Let me go pull them out. For one, I do have flashcards, but for two, I'm someone where I know how to get myself to remember something. And one of my biggest things is literally writing down everything. So if I know, like, okay, this is something I need to understand, I'm going to write it down. And especially if I'm noticing, because, you know, with Professor Messer, he doesn't say nonsense, right? Like, there's some people who are teaching, and then they probably start talking in nonsense. So they'll be like, you know, this and that. But I remember back when I was working at blah, blah, blah. It's like, you don't need to hear that. Professor Mercer, he just gets like straight to the point, and everything that he says is literally something that's going to be quizzed. So it's like, I've never heard him say something that was not quizzed yet. So when I write down stuff and I'm like writing, it's because sometimes he says things that are going to be on the quiz, but it's not on the actual screen. So I'm trying to like write down everything I could get. And so far, I've been noticing that I've been acing my quizzes, getting like around 88 to 90 something, like my mini like 50 question quizzes, because of the fact that I take so much notes in that area. So I always try to, you know, I feel like with people are different. Maybe for him, it worked with flashcards. For me though, I do have flashcards, but I just know myself, it's going to be definitely better for me if I decide to, you know, just write down everything. And then also do flashcards and then do quizzes, right? I know some people are just different though. Some people can kind of hear it and just go. Some people could do just flashcards. Some people can do just notes. Some people could do just quizzes, right? And then or assignments, and then they could pass. I know myself. I need all three, especially if I want to pass like core 2, because core 2, like they don't leave much room for you to fail. I think it's like you need a 700 out of 900, so you need to like really and get into that. It's a 90 question quiz though, so it shouldn't be that difficult, but it's a 90 question quiz, and then it's a 90-minute quiz. I'm like, y'all couldn't give me like 120 minutes? That means I have to spend less than a minute on these questions? That's crazy. Or exactly a minute on each question. But no, yeah, so I think I could definitely eat on the PBQs. But what I heard though is that with the PBQs, I heard that they normally put them in the beginning of the quiz. And someone told me, which I was going to do it myself, because I don't know where the fuck, oops, I hate cussing. But I don't know where the hell, I've learned, like, obviously probably in school, but I've never used it while I was in school. So the fact that I've, like, learned so many good studying ideas and tips and stuff, I'm like, this is weird. Because one of the things that they said was, skip the PBQs and come back. And that literally is what I would do. I remember I was giving someone advice on a certain quiz. Like, they were taking a different test. And I told them the same thing. I'm like, if you skip all the hard ones and get all the easy ones out the way, I don't care if all the easy ones were only 10 questions out of 50, right? Like, do that. Get those 10 questions out and then go back to all those hard ones, because it's going to allow you to really pass that quiz, because you built the confidence by answering those quickly. You've seen a little bit of what the hard ones were, so you can think about it later. And I feel like some people don't think about that, but that was pretty much what that dude was saying. He was like, for the PBQ, or not that dude, but some YouTuber, they're like, the PBQs, performance-based questions, just skip them first, answer all the easy questions, and come back and spend your time on them. So that's what I plan to do, but I think I'm gonna do very well on the PBQs. Like a lot of people have been saying that. They're like, oh, the PBQs are hard. But I really think it's because of the way they study. Like, literally the way that, and I'm not gonna lie, maybe that dude, like, his was a little bit different, but for him to just say, like, you don't have to take all these notes, just do flashcards, I'm like, well, I can kind of see why you would fail the PBQ, because with flashcards, it's like you're probably just putting questions that would be similar to being on the CompTIA A+, and then you're like answering it, but how could you really put like a PBQ question on that? So it's kind of, in a way you could, but some people probably wouldn't think that. So that's why with my notes, my goal is to really learn. Like, if they give me a PBQ question, I know it, because I know everything about this. And so I think I'm eating. It's just going to take me a long time, though, to end up studying everything. But at the end of the day, I don't really care how long it takes. As long as I pass it, I pass it. I don't even care if it takes a year, just because I took so damn long studying. I don't care. At the end of the day, passing it is all that matters. And yeah, so for me, that's the wave. And I also really just like to learn everything because eventually, you know, when I do start to try and specialize in a certain area, I just want to make sure that I really know stuff. Or even when I'm going to an IT support job, I want to make sure I know what the hell I'm doing. So I like to study things a lot more deeply, especially using virtual machine and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully this weekend I can give y'all some more hands-on content, but I'm not sure. I gotta think. Because now the content is getting views. I'm like, what the hell happened? I don't know. YouTube did something. But I had 1,990 or so subscribers. So thank y'all so much, man. We are 10 subs away from hitting 2,000 subs. So if anyone is in here that can ultimately, you know, you're gonna be there throughout the 12-hour study stream, hey, try to get some people to sub up. You know what I mean? But maybe I'll do it too. But let me go and start my OBS studio because I do have to hop off. And I'm gonna give y'all this like what the hell is happening? I'm gonna give you guys this 20-hour study stream. I mean 20. Well, actually, it's not even gonna be 12 hours today because I do have a video coming out later today. So it's gonna be more of like a 6 to 5 hour, depending on if this video can upload. What the hell? This video should have already been uploaded. But depending on this video can upload, if not, then it will be a 12-hour, but I guess we would see. All right, OBS is open. So I'll be catching y'all in the next one. This is Marzi signing off, but doing my 12-hour study. So, hey, stick around. Stick around if you are going to be studying. You can study in the study group. I'm normally there in the beginning, but then when it hits the time that I got to go to work, I be outie. So, all right, catch you on the next one. Love y'all. Deuces.